All right. So I just want to do a quick walkthrough through today's assignment. That way everybody knows what exactly they need to do with it. So again, this is 420, number 2, the structure of DNA. All right, so when you open this up, you are going to find a 11 slide presentation. The first slide is just a title slide. There's literally nothing you need to do with it. Slide number 2, we are taking a look at the structure of DNA. Now, if this is too small for you, you can always do a zoom in. Underneath the word insert in your Google Slides, there is a little magnifying glass that says zoom. If you click on that, you can make this larger. Okay. So again, oops, I did not mean to do that. Here we go. Let's make it fit. Anyways, so slide 1, structure of DNA. Where is DNA found? So this is like one of those like big to little pictures. So we have the cell and we have the central area of the cell, and we need to name that central area of the cell right here. I don't know why it's doing that. Here we go. Let me back it up. Sorry, I don't know. I had it on some kind of weird setting. All right, so we have the cell and we have the central area of the cell. So you need to name that central of this area of the cell right here. That's a tap, and then you're going to type. In that central area of the cell, you have these 46 things in here. So this is going to be my 46 something. Of these 46, I have a single one listed here. And this single purple stick looking thing is called what? This is your what? The structure right here. And then that one little tiny band, if you remember from Mendel genetics, we have a name for that as well. All right, so on the bottom, it says to summarize the levels of organization in the diagram below. So you are going to look at this level of organization from big, the center of the cell, to little, this molecule, and you're going to say, in the center of the cell, there is a this, inside of that, there's this, etc., and so forth. So you are going to turn this diagram into one sentence down here in the blue area. Slide number 3 is a drag and drop. So you have a statement, like 3 paragraphs here, and you have a series of words over here on the side. So we're going to start off. The DNA stands for blank acids. That is going to be deoxyribonucleic. So I'm going to grab this from over here, and it's drag and drop. It contains the blank code for every living blank. So this is going to be my genetic code. Oops, did not mean to do that. Grab the wrong one. It contains the genetic code for every living organism. So when you read through this, it should make sense. Every time I do one of these, I have people just randomly dragging and dropping like I'm not going to read it. If y'all haven't figured anything out yet, I read your assignments. I don't read every single little piece of it, but I am going to read most of it. So this, again, slide number 3 is going to be a drag and drop. So make sure you go ahead and get that done. Slide number 4, again, this is a click and type. We are labeling a single DNA nucleotide. So we have this circle piece, we have this 5-sided pentagon piece, and we have this sort of flag piece. So each one of these has a name, and all together it is called something. Make sure you label this. Slide number 5, again, we are looking at nitrogen bases, and we are looking called base pairs or complementary base pairs. It really doesn't matter whatever you want to call it, base pairs or complementary base pairs. It means the same thing. So you are going to, again, drag and drop the one that goes. So like, for example, if I picked up cytosine, if I try to put it here with adenine, obviously they don't fit together. I have a pointy thing and a curvy thing. So you are going to make sure that those go together properly. On the bottom where it says A, T, G, C, it is asking you to come up with a mnemonic device that is going to help you remember the order of these nitrogen bases. So the example that I gave here is all tigers growl constantly, which by the way isn't true, but it just helps you remember A and T go together, G and C go together. Slide number 6, structure of DNA, purines and pyrimidines. Again, so for the first part, using the diagram below, which one do you think is larger, a purine or a pyrimidine? Grab your circle, and then you're going to put it over whichever one you want to use as your answer. And then once you have decided which one's smaller, which one's larger, you are going to grab your nitrogen bases and you are going to place them wherever you think they belong. So adenine, if you think it is a purine, you'll put it here. If you think it is a pyrimidine, you would put it here. So again, you will decide where those go. And again, I strongly recommend taking a look at your notes from last week as well as the notes from this week. Slide number 7. Again, this is labeling. We have the structure of DNA. I have 4 things that need to be labeled. Sugar phosphate backbone, 1 nucleotide, hydrogen bond, covalent bond. So you have these 4 rectangles that will go inside these 4 rectangles. And again, you are labeling this DNA strand.
Miss Cano-Michael?
Yes.
For the drag and drop, can I just like create text? Can I create text box and like put it in there, because I don't have like a cursor where I have to use my finger to do it because I'm on an iPad and it's hard to move it. Like it's not moving.
I'm going to say yes, but make sure you use the same text that I have. Does that make sense? Okay. So don't like shorten it or turn it into something else, because when I go through and I read these, I normally don't see the sides anymore. I just kind of make them full screen. So as long as I'm seeing the text that should be there, you'll be fine. All right, for this one, I'm not sure how I'd help you, though. For number 8, slide number 8, we have 4 scientists, 4 descriptions of their work, and then 4 pictures. So you need to match the scientists with what they did, and, of course, with the thing that is closest to the picture of their discovery. And I'm going to actually use Levine because I don't think we talked about him other than like a couple of weeks ago for like 30 seconds. So Levine was the guy who discovered the components of DNA. So I would take this one and I would put it here. That's his discovery. And then the components of DNA, which are the nucleotides, this is a labeled nucleotide. So each scientist gets a paragraph as well as a picture on slide number 8. Slide number 9. We have 5 questions regarding DNA. So that's just a click and type your answers. Okay. And these are related to Chargaff's rules. Remember, Chargaff's rules basically tells us which of the 2 of nucleotides always appear in the same percentages. Speaking of Chargaff's rules, this is really close to what we did yesterday in the question of the day. And these gray boxes are blocking off information that I just found confusing, so don't worry about them. So I have 4 strands of DNA. Remember, everything needs to add up to 100. If I have 25A on these pink boxes, you are going to click and you are going to type in what those should be. My last and probably favorite slide, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, elbow, elbow. Remember how I said I don't necessarily look at every single one, but I'll look at certain slides? Hint, hint, my favorite slide. This is a student answer, which is kind of wrong. So here's what we are going to do with this. There are 4 sentences in the student's answer. You are going to read each sentence and decide what's wrong with it. So let's take a look at this first one. It says DNA is composed of 3 strands that form a triple spiral. So that is wrong. The first thing I would do is I would highlight it. The second thing I'm going to do is down here, I am going to rewrite the correct way of doing it. So I would say DNA is composed of 2 strands, that form a double helix. That is my first sentence. Enter. So now I'm going to fix Then it says each strand is composed of nucleotides which contain phosphate group, ribose, and a nitrogenous base. There's something wrong with that sentence as well. Again, highlight it in a different color, fix it down here, and you could even number these if you wanted to. Okay? So that is how we are going to complete this assignment. Again, the expectation is that it will get done today. This is, again, assignment 420, number 2. The idea is you get it done today. We have about 10 minutes left in class. Please get to work. And again, if you have questions, please make sure that you ask.